Now, Barrister Faruk Abbas, you heard what Elijah Sonny said. I would like you to contrast that with she says we can't have a sane society, that it is utopian. Is that why the level of corruption in the country is so humongous?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. I disagree.
You have 10 minutes, please.
Yes, please, thank you. Yes, I disagree with Elijah Sonny. I think there's a sort of mix-up in the perspectives to the question, and I will explain what I mean. When we say a sane society, which our doctor said earlier, we all know the characteristics of a sane society. A sane society, in terms of the futures he mentioned, is not an utopia. But the utopia she's talking about is from a different perspective, in the sense of young people that we are always complaining, saying Nigeria is this and that. We are looking up to other countries that they are the solution. And the truth is that when you go to those countries too, they also have their problems. So I think that's what she means by utopia. But there is a general standard on what the basic requirements for a sane society: education, healthcare, good roads, shelter, and food, and rule of law. Once you have that, you can say the society is sane somewhat. But it doesn't mean that there is no moral decadence and all those other things which she complained about. So whichever way you look at it, both of them are correct to an extent. But now going away from that, I believe that the reason, what we are seeing in Nigeria today is not unexpected. And it's not unexpected because, like she said, we don't have values anymore. She said values have changed. I don't believe values have changed. I believe that now we don't even have values. And I'm sure that if you talk to a lot of people and ask them that, what do you understand by values? Most people don't understand what you mean by values. So when you say values, it's like you're just speaking grammar. So they don't understand that you need to have values which will be like a compass that guides any action you want to take. So this morning now, if I want to go on TikTok now, if I have a personal value, I will ask myself, my going on TikTok, what I'm watching on TikTok, will it enhance my value? Will it make me achieve my goals in life? But you know, the truth is that we don't have values. The only values we have in Nigeria now is to be rich and to be wealthy. Whichever way you look at, to make money and to be wealthy. So now we've shifted from the core values. And when you shift from this, what you see is that the society will have all these sort of things we are seeing. When she talked about the issue of somebody died and people are making noise, and I asked myself, is this the first person to die? Bola Ige died. A doctor died in an elevator. Nobody did candlelight. Nobody made noise. You know, so many people have died. But now what we have is that people are just focusing on the wrong thing. And why is that? A typical home, when you see a child at home, they are not even friends with their parents. They don't even converse with their parents. A parent will buy a phone for a child, no parental guideline, nothing. The child is on internet doing all sorts. The parent does not even know what the child is doing. And if a child can't talk to his parents, he will look for someone to talk to. So in most cases, what you see is that these young people go online to go and talk to the wrong set of people. Even when they have advice, when they have serious problems, they don't even know who to go and ask for advice. So the truth is that whether we like it or not, we have failed as adults, as parents. And we must practice what we call pro-shaming. We must be real with our children. Let them know that I've made mistakes, but I don't want you to make that same mistake. But if you've made certain mistakes and you want to be pretending to your child, and you want to be hiding as if you are right, or as if life is good and all that, the child sees you. He knows more than you know. So I think the truth is that, number one, we have to go back home. And it goes to what they said earlier as well. Like, if you follow what Islam says, what does Islam say? Islam says we should pray our 5 times daily prayer, go to the mosque, do all these things. And you find out that if you do the basic things, for example, let's talk about going to mosque. I like pray. Right from onset, my parents taught us to pray 5 daily prayers. We don't joke with our prayers. But there was a time that I don't go to mosque to pray Jumu'ah prayers. When I was in the university, I pray in my room. I don't go to the mosque. I only go to mosque for Jumu'ah prayer. But when I got married and I was living somewhere and I have a best friend, he encouraged me and said, let's start going to the mosque for Fajr prayer. And I started going to the mosque for Fajr prayer. So what you find now is that most youths now, we are happy to go to Ikoyi Club to say we want to go and network with fellow businessmen so that we can get jobs and all those things. But do we say we want to go for Muslim gatherings, go to the mosque to network with Muslims who will increase our iman, who will make us better persons? So the truth is that what we need to start from is we need to inculcate the habits of having values. When we were growing up, my dad would give us a form and he would tell us, write your values. When I was in primary school, I didn't understand what it means. So at some point, he now printed another document for us, about 20 types of values. He now said, oh yeah, all of you, choose the top 5 that you like. And we looked at the values he gave us, and we chose 5. And now, even as an adult now, it's easy for me to remember what my values are. So if someone tells me, come and do this thing, I know that my number one value in life is to be a righteous Muslim and to enter Al-Jannah. So I will never compromise that with anything. And I know my second value. I know all those things. So if anybody calls me for anything, or even if I go on social media, you will not see me following certain kind of pages. Because I know what my values are. And the truth is that it's just like a table that is dusty. If you dust the table today and you don't dust it tomorrow, it will be dusty. So we need to keep on dusting the table every day to keep our iman strong. So if I don't have people around me who are strong and encouraging me towards my value, it's only a matter of time before I drop the value. So even at our level like this, we are still struggling with certain things. There are some places we don't go to, but there are some places that when we go there too, they play music. So there are some things that you must know as a matter of fact. So the truth is that let's inculcate that habit of values. Let's talk to our children. Let's have values, and let us start living in accordance with our values. Yes, you can have 7 values. You can't do everything at once. But as a family, choose one. And say for the next 6 months, let's focus on this value of honesty, of integrity, of worshiping Allah. And for the 6 months, you talk about it. When you see that you've achieved that with your child, you can say, let's move to the second values. So the truth now is that what we need to focus on and why we are where we are now is because we don't have any values. People don't even know the meaning of values. And I won't be surprised if I say let's throw it to the audience now and let's start asking people what their top 3 values are. You will see people stuttering. And when you see somebody stuttering about his values, it means that the person is just like a ship that the wind is just blowing anywhere. So where we need to start from is let's go back home and tell our children that yes, we have failed in certain regard. Let us discuss man to man. Okay, what are your values? Some people just believe that having an American visa is a value. And that's the objective in life. And when you say you have gotten a visa, they will say congratulations. As if you have gotten to Al-Jannah. And once they go to America, they don't have anything they are chasing in life anymore. Some people are chasing becoming an SAN for 30 years. And when they get SAN, I read a story, somebody became an SAN and within 3 months he died. And I know that kind of man, if you ask him the question that if you die 3 months after you become an SAN, I'm sure that 30 years he used to chase that SAN, he will have changed his values and said, let me spend 20 years worshiping Allah or doing something else. So what I think we need to do is let us go back home and talk to our children. Let us identify our values. Then when we now have those values, then we now work on work plan on how to achieve that. Thank you.
Thank you for your contributions.